Reignite your intuition to grow your intuitive self. This is episode number 17, where I talk about define yourself through your intuition. My name is Angela and I'm your host of the show and a highly intuitive person by birth who never lost her connection. I am the expert in supporting you, regaining your intuition and living a fulfilled and much easier life with it. Trusting fully your intuition takes time and is a very individual process. I share with you my knowledge and strategies I have developed to support yourself on a daily basis in any situation. By signing up to my freebie, you can support yourself to connect with your intuition. Go to angelaheck.com/en17. How to define myself at all? First question. No idea. Honestly, no idea. I am who I am. I think that was the song from Gloria Gaynor. Oh no, that was actually I am what I am. Well, no, I changed it to I am who I am. So how can I define myself through my intuition? It's actually pretty simple. Follow your heart. And if we are very, very honest and open-eyed, we know that we are automatically defining us through our intuition the moment we follow our heart. And I do not believe that becoming a fireman or a princess or what else dream jobs we have when we are small are those we really entirely desire to have. I see more the topic behind it. A princess has a chance to support so many people. Of course, she also has nice dresses, etc., but that's from the outside. A fireman saves lives. So we have our talent why we came into this world, and intuitively we know what they are. But unfortunately, we don't get a booklet where it's written what they are. Nor that we get any other informations what we need to do, that we do what we want to do and need to do. So therefore, it's a bit hard how to define ourselves through our intuition, because we have to find it. The less we are connected to it anymore, the probably a bit steeper the way might be to define yourself through your intuition. Don't you think so? It has to be a bit steep, huh? Up the hill? No, absolutely not. It's whomever starts to reconnect. It's the real first step that's taking a lot of courage. And actually those who think they're very connected or close to connected, they just have to reactivate it, are sometimes those who are literally dancing around the proper topic. While those who think, yeah, whatever, are those who jump directly in. I saw that mainly women actually are those dancing around, be like, I'm intuitive, I'm doing it on my intuition. And at the end of the day, it's like dancing and bouncing and doing everything not to do that step. And those who seem to be very brainy, they're absolutely not that way. They completely, totally go, okay, I'll do it. They go that step. It's nothing that has to do with being steep. It has to do with having made a decision. And through making decisions, you get a chance to go further. And that's what you need. You need to go further and you need to follow what really is your passion. And if you're right now listening and thinking like, yeah, but I studied, for example, the law. I cannot do anything else than becoming a lawyer. Take the time and ask at least 3 to 5 of your really close friends. And then 3 to 5 of your colleagues, what they think is your strength, without thinking of your job or what you've studied. Because in the outer world, you do live more and more on what is really your strength than you think. For example, me, I work in the hospitality industry. I loved having people around. I loved being with people, etc. And at the same time, I felt sometimes so empty after talking to people. And when they left, I used to say, well, others earn money with it. And it took me quite some years to realize, wait a second, I give them something. I have knowledge they need. And I get the money of a waitress. Nothing against the waitress. Honestly, I got good money and I loved my hospitality job. Whatever position I was at. But still, on the outside, I was a hospitality industry girl, working as a guest relation, working abroad, using it for travels, etc. But that was definitely not the definition of who I am within myself. Intuitively, I knew who I am. But I just could not grab it or catch it or... I think one of the biggest times it showed to me was when I moved to the east coast of the US. I lived in a lovely town called Alexandria. And no, it's not in Egypt, it's in the US. And I think I was living there for a few weeks, not long. It was really just short term. And my dad called me up. I was like, well, honey, you know, your horse is old. And I'm like, my horse is old. What? My horse is what? It's in hospital. And I remember I had an afternoon night shift, which means for European time, it's through the night. I worked when they were sleeping. So he called me before my shift started and was like, he's in the hospital. Do I have to decide for you what to do? And I said, no, it's my horse. I decide. But the moment he said, shall I decide for you, I knew something's wrong. Not because he wanted to decide, because he wanted to take the weight of the situation off of me. As daddies do, he wanted to protect me. And he said, well, the doctors, and they say, you know, he might not survive tonight. We could help him to let him go, and, you know. And I remember telling him, put your mobile on the ear of my horse. And he did. I know he did, because in such situations, Missy can be very harsh, which I'm sorry for. So I had the feeling I spoke to my horse and he gave me clearly the answer, no, it's all good, tomorrow I'm fine. But I had no clue where it came from. I just knew I was right. So my dad took back the phone and I said, well, it's okay, he'll be fine tomorrow morning. And I remember going to work and they were going to sleep. And when I finished my shift, I was sitting in a restaurant nearby, having my hand holding up the mobile to make sure that I have reception. My daddy called and he was like, honestly, you are the only person who believed he'll be fine. Everybody was surprised when they stepped in this morning when they saw him eating. They expected him to either be nearly death or has to be helped to pass. And that was the moment when I knew I have to listen to my intuition to define who I really am. And it still took several years to get my way. I really know who I am through my intuitive being, but at least I gave it the space to grow this intuitive connection to myself, to who I am today and why I am who I am today. So how can you define yourself through your intuition? Be conscious of what's happening around you. Be conscious how you react on certain situations. Ask really your friends and colleagues where they see your strength. And maybe when they tell you, you think, oh, there is no job I could do in the world that has anything to do with that, or something like this. Believe me, there is the exactly fine and perfect position for you out there. And your intuition will show you how to find it. Are you ready for reignition? Yes? Then go to angelahack.com/en13 and sign up for the freebie with the link you find there. Thank you for listening to Reignite Your Intuition. If you like my podcast, please come back, tell friends, and feel free to share with others how they can access the podcast.